right, my man, state your name. Let them know you on Real Talk with Nick.
Peace and blessings. God with the lessons, man. It's Ra, a.k.a. Ramar Alston,
Okay.
Represent South Jamaica, Queens, Harlem, New York City. I know what it is.
All right. And we here to talk about Knick basketball, of course, man. I want to start off talking about the situation with the Knick organization giving away good players, man. I mean, the city is torn apart when we speak of the power forward position, when we speak of that of Julius Randle, and the backup of Obi Toppin. Obi Toppin is no longer with the New York Knicks. He got traded to the Indiana Pacers. I want to know, how do you feel about that? You think that's a good move, man?
Might be a good move for him, but not for the Knicks. The Knicks, like I said previously when I was on the podcast, man, the Knicks they do a horrible job at managing talent, managing just the team in general, They'll give away some of their best talent and keep some of the worst talent in trying to make good trades and things like that, right? But they're never considering are any of these moves that they're making beneficial to the organization as a whole, right? Or the team as a whole, team chemistry. This just disrupted team chemistry now. Obi was part of the Knicks team chemistry, you know what I mean? He's part of the glue, the fabric of the Knicks. So I think the Knicks is going to miss a big contribution to their lineup,
You think so?
Me. Yeah, I really think so.
So you think it's a setback?
For the Knicks, yes. I think he's going to thrive. I think, mark my words, I think you're going to see him really come alive with the Pacers. You're going to see him really flourish. Things that you didn't get to see when he was in the Knicks organization and the Knicks offensive scheme.
Like what?
Like just his talent. You know what I mean? You're going to see him explode. Things that, like, his jump shot, his back to the basket work. You know what I mean? I think you're going to see him things that he can do that we didn't get to see that he can do, when he was with the Knicks.
So you think Obi's more than just a fast break player?
Yeah. I think if you give him the right offensive scheme to work with, the right pieces around him, he could do great. He can do great.
Wow. So you think it's going to be a matchup?
With him and Randle?
Yeah.
I mean, it depends. Yeah, I think if he works this summer, yeah. But Randle's no slouch. Randle works. I said that before when I was on last time. To me personally, I respect the guys that put the work in, that work hard. The Jimmy Butlers, the Julius Randles, you can see how they get stronger every year. You see what I'm saying? I like that.
All right. I'm glad you said that, right? Do Butler elevate his game in the postseason?
Absolutely.
Do Randle elevate his game in the postseason?
No.
So, to fall back on what you just said, right? I would want to think that. I'm rooting for that. You feel me? But when it comes to the postseason, I don't see Randle showing up, man.
Yeah,
you say he put in the work, but what happens when the postseason comes? Where's Randle?
That's a whole nother level. You see what I'm saying? He put the work on making his game, getting his game a little better, but he didn't put the work in on taking that game to another level. Like, he's gotten stronger. He's gotten some post moves, I've even seen him pull out the handle a little bit, you know what I mean? But have we seen Randle in the playoffs multiple times? So, you haven't seen that. So I gotta give him the credit. He didn't show up, but he made it there. Now let's see if they can make it again this year and then see what he does this year. He needs to work a little harder on his game, on his stamina, his shot selection.
Okay. And as far as the coaching, when we speak of that, of the Knicks, man, Tom Thibodeau, man.
I mean, without, from a fan perspective, without knowing and looking at what he's doing on paper, the offensive schemes, the defensive schemes, it really comes down to, do the players buy into what it is? Because a lot of these schemes are used on other teams. When a coach comes from another team, they bring some of these other things that they had at that team. You see, when what's the Cavs coach that left the Spurs and became the Cavs coach? I forgot his name. But when they was playing against the Spurs, he was the Spurs assistant, and he became the Cavs head coach. I forgot his name. The black dude with the glasses, the bald head.
I know you're talking about.
I can't get his name off the top. I smoke too much lazy. But y'all know he was coaching LeBron and them. And when they was playing them in the finals, right, he was using the same schemes that they was using in the Spurs. So the Spurs knew most of it. You know what I mean? There's a lot of plays like motion. Every team has a motion, you know. So there's a lot of things that as fans, we don't pay attention to. I only know because, like I said, you know, I get to see and talk to my brother and ask questions, you know.
Who happens to be Skip to my Lou.
Yeah. Shout out to my brother Skip to my Lou. You know, and we was just sitting in my crib the other night talking, you know, and a lot of times I ask questions that normally we wouldn't get to ask. Like, a lot of people don't know that every game you have an assignment, right? Every player on the team gets a folder, right? And in your folder, it tells you what you're supposed to do today, right? Against who? The day before, the night before, you might have looked at film and they single out. If you're a point guard, or if you're a forward, if you're a center, this is your job. You guard him tomorrow. He likes to turn left. Cutting off that left, spin him to the right, help defense coming over, you know. These things are worked on. So when you go in the game and you say, well, why didn't he take that shot, right? Well, it was because the assignment said for him not to take that shot. You know, I remember when my brother was a rookie, his assignment was to pass the ball to Glenn Robinson and run to the other side. So a lot of people was looking like, Skip, why you ain't take that jump shot? It was open. No, you had to follow the scheme. When you're a first-year player, a rookie, or a second-year player, you know, you don't get to just take shots how you want to take shots. You got to flow with what's in the system. You understand? So
do that hinder players?
Yeah, that's what I'm
development
saying about like Obi. You going to his assignment was to do XYZ playing for the Knicks. He might go over there where his assignment is to, you know, open the floor or to take 2 dribbles and spin right, you know, and put up the jump up, or, you know, rebound on the fast break and push the ball. You don't know what the assignment is. You know what I mean? You have to be on that team to actually read that assignment.
And you think that still exists today in the NBA with the folders?
Absolutely.
Wow.
Absolutely.
So I'm gonna go a step further. Do that go for coaches?
Do coaches have an assignment?
From the front office.
From the
front office tells
from the owners, right? I'm gonna give you another tidbit. So when Orlando was in the finals against the Lakers, right? Against Lakers, Jameer Nelson was hurt. The owner walks in and sees Jameer Nelson under the basket taking shots. Like, yo, what is he doing? He's all right. And Skip is leading the way. You know, got you into the playoffs. Said, oh, no. He needs to play. But we need no. I said he needs to play. I just gave him whatever, $60 million or something like that. No, you're gonna play for my money. So this didn't come from Stan Van Gundy, right? This comes from the owner. So a lot of people looking at him like, why would Stan Van Gundy take him out? I think Stan Van Gundy's a great coach. He's a great coach. You think he's not smart enough to know that if this point guard is doing this, I'm gonna keep him in? Of course he would have kept him in.
You like Van Gundy over Thibodeau?
Yeah, only because I've seen, you know, Van Gundy win. We ain't see Thibodeau win. You know, so I don't know how fair it is to say how much better he is than Thibodeau, because I've never seen Thibodeau win, you know. But based off that, I think he's a better coach, yeah.
Okay. All right. So you got Obi showing out on the Pacers. Wow. You think the core is gone as far as the youth core when we speak of that of the Knicks? With no Obi, you think they broke up the process?
What are they going to do with Brunson?
We're going to do with who?
Brunson.
Oh, Brunson's still here.
Yeah. What they're gonna do is, are they gonna give him the big extension when it's time? What did he do? He get his money?
The Brunson,
When his extension is due. All right, peace, dog. Right?
I know they turned down Emmanuel Quickly's extension.
But when it's time for Brunson's extension or
They better give it to him.
they have to. See, now, normally what happens in this situation with the Knicks is that Brunson deserves so much money that the Knicks just be like, oh, I'm not giving it. You know what I mean? Let him go.
You think they'll be that stupid to do that?
That's usually what they do. This is what they usually, this is the norm for them. This is what they do. I wouldn't be surprised if they do this. I'm telling you. They always do this.
And why is that, man?
Because their focus isn't winning, right? The focus is making the money to sell the tickets, sell merchandise, and get the people into the stands, to make the organization keep turning, right? A lot of times, as fans, we only see the moves they should make as winning, you know? But there's other components to running that organization that has no bearing on whether or not we're gonna win, as whether or not we're gonna get these get these people in these seats. Is the game gonna be exciting? So some of these players are exciting to watch. Like Randall has that grit. He has that New York grit. So that's what New Yorkers want to come see. Are you gonna fight? So they'll pick a fighter over a winner, right? Because this helps me run my business.
Win or lose.
Win or lose. Because I could win and have the right players, and some of these people don't like these players. They're not showing up. That's in their minds, you know. They don't know this. They don't know, like, these diehard Knicks fans. We riding with them regardless. They don't understand that. They don't make moves for the fans. They make moves to sell the tickets to run their business.
So this could be why there's been a drought in New York centering the championship
years,
status.
Right, for years. Same thing was happening with the Clippers. For years, it was just a farm. Just get the people there, let them come, play good basketball, and then we get them out of there, they re-sign somewhere else, right? All the new players who went to who they drafted was always good. Lamar Odom, Caron Butler, what was the other guy they drafted with Lamar Odom? He ended up going to Cleveland, but he wasn't that good for years. But he was all right when he was a rookie, beginning season. I forgot his name. Skinny dark-skinned kid used to do this. I forgot his name, man. But anyway, yeah, he got a podcast now too. But yeah, for years that's how they did in the NBA. And you know, another thing is there's called profit sharing, right? There's a thing called profit sharing where every organization shares in the profits. So you can have a team that is not selling out in the arena. My team is selling out in the arena. You get a portion of these profits, right? Because you're an owner. All the owners share in percentages of the profits of the game. So this is how it all works for everybody to be part of the system. It's the same thing with the system in real life, with the judicial system, with the medical system, the educational system. It's all a system where it turns and it works so that it keeps working.
So they all in cahoots.
That's right. It's all
You saying all the NBA teams is in cahoots.
It have to be.
So break down the situation with the Patrick Ewing, because there was some controversy with that.
With him getting the coaching job?
No, with him being drafted on the Knicks.
Oh, see, I don't know too much of that draft controversy with him, but I do know this about him. His wife, really, really smart, right? So they met in Georgetown. Georgetown's a school of law.
Right.
So when he was a rookie, she was influencing his decisions in his signing contracts. It's like she was the one who told him to drop the Adidas contract and make their own shoe, so that he could make his own money. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
So that she was I don't know what her major was there, but she went to Georgetown, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, that's where Michael Jordan's wife, her and Michael Jordan's wife was real tight. So I think that's where they met. I don't know if Yeah, but they met when they were both in college. I don't know if they went to the same college, but they were both in college, you know.
Okay.
So yeah, but I do know that was part of the controversy with him coaching, right? They didn't want to give him the coaching job with the Knicks. You see what I'm saying? And this is why I don't like none of, you know, the Knicks organization, the way they treated him, the way they treated Oakley, the way they treated Mark Jackson. They're not giving these people, the real core people, the dedicated people that help make this franchise to what it is. They don't want to give them jobs.
And that's because
They don't want people that is gonna help win. These people are not gonna conform to your organization, right? They're not gonna work with the cahoots of all the entire NBA.
So you telling me it's more profitable to lose than to actually win a championship?
It's more profitable to play the game, not just to lose. So they make money by, you know, you get extra checks at the end. So of course, if you wanted to win, right, you would want to, you know, if you want to make money, you would want to win, right? Because you're going to get extra checks. You get an extra check aside from your normal check when you make the playoffs. You get a playoff check and your regular check. So you get 2 checks,
right,
you know, each game. So so winning the series, you know, would make you want to make more money, right? Would make sense. But what I'm saying is this: you got a choice. I could choose go after a guy that, right? I could go after winning, right? And then I'm lower in the draft, right? I'm lower in the draft. The higher teams who win, the championship teams, are not number one, don't get number 1 draft picks. You know what I mean? So now you could be a championship team, spend all your money chasing these players, right? And end up losing, right? Because everybody doesn't win the championship. Or I could run my organization in a way that I can fill up the seats and sell tickets and sell merchandise, right? And make money and do that. Or I could be a person who's chasing the championship. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
If all of the owners are in cahoots saying, okay, listen, we're all gonna try to fill the stands. That's our main goal. Filling the stands is the main goal. So if you have a bad year this year, you're not gonna be like, I'm gonna break the bank trying to get a new player. No, I'm all right because I know that I'm filling these seats. You understand what I'm saying? From an owner's perspective, owner's standpoint. So, you know, it matters to the owners what the bottom line, what's the dollar amount am I making? You see, versus am I gonna break the bank trying to get these other players, right? These other players end up wanting to trade anyway, you know? These other players end up getting hurt anyway. So in the end, I end up spending this money as an owner, as a billionaire. Then you gotta think as a billionaire. I'm broke right now, right? I'm not a millionaire, I'm not a billionaire. I wouldn't, you know, to us, we would be like, yeah, well, why don't we just win and then make some more money? But then you gotta think, how are they paying those people? The billionaire is paying them, right? So now where's he getting that money from? From the revenue, right? So if I gotta focus on this to be able to pay these players, then I need to focus on revenue more than anything, right? Because I won't have no players if I don't make the money, and if I won't have no money to pay these players, I don't have a team. I don't have a team for these people, for the fans to come see, so that they can spend their money buying hot dogs, buying beer, buying drinks. The kids want this, all of the things that you see waving in the stands, those cost money. Everything costs money.
And it's funny you said that, because when you look at Madison Square Garden, is one of the cheapest as far as giving back. We don't see no paraphernalia where you see the fans with the name, like you see Golden State. And I noticed that. I be like, damn, everybody in the stands got on the same color, like they giving out T-shirts. And you don't see that at Madison Square Garden.
It's not their concern.
Their concern is tourists, celebrities, big
right.
names, and shit like that.
That's right. Anybody's gonna come, no matter if the people like you and I, right, who are from New York City, right? If we don't go to the games, do you think the arena's still gonna sell out?
Yeah.
Of course, because people who come from other places want to go to the Garden. Everybody wants to go to the Garden, so it's gonna sell no matter what they do, no matter who they sign, no matter who they let go. No matter who, you know what I mean? It's
Right.
gonna sell out. It's the Garden,
Right.
right? It's the Garden. All the players in the NBA want to come to the Garden to show out,
Right.
right? So they don't have to be concerned with those type of things.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
You're right.
That's not a concern for them. That's not their number one concern, I should say. It's not a top priority. Now, of course, they want to win, right? Of course, they want to get talent, right? But is it top priority? Is it number one? No. For Dolan, number one, the Garden itself will still make money. Fights, hockey. It's a never ending. It's a gold mine.
Mm-hmm.
So, as a Knicks fan, we're only thinking about one component of it. That's a small piece of it, right? It's a very small piece of what he's doing. So, it's like him saying, like, man, you just gave away $100 million to this player. I'm making $400 or $500 in a month, or in a, you know what I mean? Like, all right, to us, yeah, $100 million to change our lives.
Right.
But $500 million to him, it's like, you know, now we're talking. You know,
Yeah.
like they don't weigh. And that's the thing. It's valuable versus invaluable.
All right, and that's what it is, man. I want to thank the OG for coming on Real Talk with Nick. Make perfect sense how he broke it down. Business over pleasure when it comes to us Knicks fans, man.
That's right. Absolutely. I like how you put that. Peace and blessings, man. Thanks for having me, man.